Hi everyone, welcome to Values. Today we're looking at Virgin Galactic. They came up with this announcement at the end of February, as you can see, end of February 28th. And basically this announcement was more or less what you would expect. Basically, it's just the confirmation that service remains on track for Q2, which Q2 starts next month. So they better get some testing going because there's been no testing announcements yet. But they've still got the time, and the good thing is that they've completed their upgrades to the mothership and to the spacecraft itself. And the mothership has returned to Spaceport America, so that is all good and reassuring. Cash balance is still pretty good. 980 million at the end of December, which is good, but of course we're in March, and by the end of this month probably another $150 million got wiped off that. At least that was the last net loss for the last quarter. So potentially they could have around 850 million, maybe I'd say, around about 850 million by the end of this month, which kind of, it's still a good amount of money, but it's at the same time they're working against time because you really have to get things going, especially for the share price. The share price is not going to go well if you don't get things going. This share price shot up around middle of February on some exciting announcements that mothership had been finished. It had, it's going to be flown back and they'll get testing resumed. We haven't heard any announcement on the testing, but hopefully they get that going quite soon. Overall, there's not particularly a lot more that really we can go on for the time being. Net loss for 2022 was $500 million. So if we compare it with how much cash they have, 980 million, they're still very comfortable in terms of being able to cover any money that they will need for this year. And then hopefully if they can get things going commercial very soon, then that will be a good spot. But if they don't go commercial and they burn through more than half of what they're holding now, you gotta start looking around your loss reducing strategy, particularly if you're holding stock. Hopefully that time never comes, but of course you got to have contingency plans if these guys have another delay, another technical problem, because at the end of the day they don't control everything that they do. As we've learnt in the last couple of years, they may want to fly, but if they don't get the tech right, things do not go well, especially for the share price, because this share price has been through a lot. We're in the last 12 months, we've gone from a price that was close to $10, and now we're close to half that. And in the last couple of years, you've seen the stock go from basically like a rocket, just up and down, and then it's just been grounded for quite a while now. And if things can get going, like in terms of valuation, I think the stock could merit $15 to $20 on their commercial kind of success. If they can get flights going on a regular basis, I can see it at $15 to $20 as a good price tag for this company. And then after that, I think the market will assess what the true financial viability of this company is, and then adjust the pricing towards that, of course. But at the end of the day, they've spent so much money to get where they are that there is value in the technology that they hold, the position, the experience, all the stuff that they've accumulated. It's worth something. So I don't think it's worth just $1 billion or just over $1 billion. It's definitely worth more than that, at least several billion. And then from there you can kind of gauge what the value is afterwards, because you can't really gauge too much value right now, especially if they're not commercial. The thing is, when you invest in a company that doesn't have a product on the market, it means there's still going to be a lot of money that's going to be burnt for nothing, in a sense, because it could be for nothing. Like, it could end up being a really nice commercial product, or it could end up being a product that just never gets commercial and it never gets anywhere. Hopefully that never happens. But that's how you assess a company. You want to make sure that what they're using the money for is eventually going to be a successful product. But not only that, you want to make sure that product actually has good margins and that it can actually build on it itself. So the thing is with Virgin Galactic is, in a sense, it can build on itself. They're going to have one spaceship, and then two spaceship, and then three. And at the same time, they're going to upgrade, and then they're going to work towards certain milestones. And as they keep going as well, they are working ahead of their competition. There's not a lot of people flying into space. And even though people are announcing other, situations where they have other ways of traveling into space, until they've actually gone commercial, it's not competition. It's just like Tesla, right? Tesla was ahead of the game, and they had so many delays that, you could have doubted them in so many situations. And then when they did finally get to the market, everyone was speaking about how they had so many competitors, that there were so many alternatives, but the competition really didn't show up for a long, long time. Like, we're seeing a lot of competition show up now, but the thing is, Tesla's still way ahead in terms of margins. A lot of car companies, they make electric cars, but they're not really getting ahead of the mile, Tesla is. And that's the one thing that you have to look at the company around its margins, that, hey, it's got a first mover advantage, but it's also going to make those margins count. And also the same thing with Virgin Galactic. These guys are well known for putting on a really, really good experience. So while other companies are just focused on the flights, these guys are focusing towards a premium service as well, like a premium experience. That, hey, their tickets might be about $450,000, but they also have a premium where it could actually go to $1 million for extra services, So then these guys can actually start to unlock more potential as they go, but of course that commercial service is most important for now. And then, because there's a lot of doubt out there around how do the numbers work, and the thing is, the numbers will work once they get commercial. Once things start going well, then they'll make the numbers work. But if you don't have a product out there, how are you going to make the numbers work? And that's a problem. That's where the doubt is in the company. They say they are on track for Q2, but is the reality, are they actually on track for Q2? I'd love to believe them, and I think they're on the right track, but I've seen so many problems, delays with this company that we do have to make sure we're watching this like a hawk and just seeing how they go. Like, of course, they've got a lot of money to change things around. That's the beauty about a company with cash in this economy. Like, in this kind of economy, like, companies are just falling left, right, and center, and if they don't have the money, they're gone. The only thing saving Virgin Galactic in the past couple of years was their ability to raise money, and basically their ability to just have this amount of money is the best feature about the company at the moment. That they have 980 million as of December, but of course it's probably closer to 850 now, and it's enough to keep them going if they have any problems. So there's a safety net in the cash they hold. But if that starts dwindling quickly and they haven't got commercial yet, then that's when you start kind of worrying. But of course, you don't have to worry now. They're on track for Q2, which is, we'll find out if this company really, really can keep their word in the next 3 months. If they don't keep their word in the next 3 months, then I think you really have to start doubting the company in some aspects. And also, you just want to really look at your investment in this company, because, if they don't have, if they can't really keep their word and they can't control their technical problems, the thing is, if they're going to have a technical problem now, there's very high chances that they'll have more technical problems in the future as well, and it's also their ability to fix them as well. So we want to have a lot of confidence in this company. Right now, they haven't really provided us that much details yet, but hopefully things are actually as they say. CEO, as he says, it is great to see our mothership back in the skies, and we're thrilled to have the VMS Eve rejoin Spaceship Unity back at home in Spaceport America. With our enhancement program complete and validation flights underway, we will remain tracked to launch commercial service in second quarter 2023. Our near-term objective for our commercial space line operation is safely deliver recurring flights with our current ships while providing unrivaled experience for private astronauts and researchers. So in a way, we'll see how much those words stand, especially with the CEO. We don't really want them to promise a lot and then not really give anything out. Hopefully things do actually get, on the way and flying. So overall I could speak a lot about these financials, which look hideous, like the actual black and white. It's like a zebra. Like at the end of the day, they've got to burn money. They're spending it mostly on R&D, of course, as you can see. Looking at this kind of just hurts my eyes. Like, whoever just did this, like, someone really didn't talk to them and go like, that's hideous. That's just the highest contrast on your eyes, and it doesn't stand out because the text is tiny. The contrast is just, it just numbs your eyes. Like if you wanted to excite someone about numbers, this is not how you do it. I know normally numbers are pretty dull, and this really, really puts a contrast to that, but that's way too much. So really, not much to really look into those financials. At the end of the day, they're burning about 100 to 150 million a quarter. They've got probably about 850 million in the bank as we speak, and they're on service for Q2, and I think that's really what we really have to just focus on, because those are the key points. You can look into other things. There's also other things that people online have also been talking about in terms of the actual conditions of the mothership, the spaceships. At the end of the day, I mean, you just have to trust the company to know what they're doing. Because I mean, like if they're promising these things and then they have another delay, then like you gotta start doubting them. If they make so many promises and are not delivering, like I feel like this is kind of potentially that last straw. If you don't deliver in Q2, at least get the test flights going. Then as an investor, you really, really have to consider whether you want to believe them, that much more going into the future. The only thing that's keeping you here is that the company is, it's called Virgin Galactic. It's got the Virgin Group behind it. But, their reputation can't hold this company together. And basically the only thing holding this company together is the large cash position in its pile. If not, they're going to have to raise more money, and you don't want to get into that. But for now, things are alright. Things are on track, and things could look nice. Of course, it's if you're an investor, you're here for the share price, and the share price probably holds steady around here. And we'll see, and its movements more or less will be based on the next announcement, whether that's good or bad. Let me know what your thoughts are. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.